Hello students, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Our today's topic is a historical overview of development of English language teaching in India. All of you know that English was once a foreign language, but now it is used as a second language. We look into the transformation of English from a foreign language to a second language. Our discussion will cover a period of about 3.5 centuries, starting from 1600 AD and will end up in 1947. According to Braj Bihari Kachru, an Indian linguist, has given 3 phases of introduction of English language education in India. First phase is the phase of missionary enterprise, the second phase is the phase of local demand, and the third phase is the phase of government policy. But I want to share one thing here. Here the beginning of second phase does not mean the end of first phase, and similarly the beginning of third phase does not mean the end of first and second phase. That means in the third phase also the missionaries and local peoples were active. Now we will look into each phases in brief. First, the missionary enterprise. All of you know that British East India Company came to India for business purpose. They were permitted by British Empire in 1600 AD to do business in India, and with them in around 1614 AD the missionaries came. Actually, the missionaries were for the religious and moral education of the traders. But when they came to India, they found that most of the people in India are illiterate. So they took active initiative to spread education in India. And of course, as they were Christian missionaries, their education was a mixture of English and Christianity. Many Christian missionaries has played important role in spreading English education in India. I have only given here name of 3 persons, Carey, Ward and Marshman. They are also known as Srirampur tribe. Now we will look into the local demand, that is the phase of local demand. 2 important names are famous in this regard. The first one is Raja Ram Mohan Rai and the second one is Rajnath Hari Navalkar. All of you have heard the name of Raja Ram Mohan Rai. He was one of the pioneers of Bengal Renaissance. Raja Ram Mohan Rai realized the need and necessity of spreading English education in India, so he wrote a letter to Lord Amherst in 1823 demanding the introduction of English education system in India. Now you can see that I have given name of some writers and clubbed them into 2 categories. In the first category, they are the name of Rabindranath Tagore, Sri Aurobindo, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. All of these were great thinkers and philosophers. In their writings, we can see the blending of Western thought and Indian culture and heritage. And the next category is R.K. Narayan, Mulk Raj Anand, Bhavani Bhattacharya and Raja Rao. These are all creative writers. So, in other words, we can say that all of these writers wrote in English and helped to popularize English education system in India. Now we will look into the government policy. Actually, the government policy began in 1765. All of you know, in the Battle of Plassey, that was 1757, Robert Clive won the battle. And after this, the British East India Company gained a strong foothold in the political arena of India. And as a result of this, they started to interfere in the education system of India. And because of this, in 1765, they started English education system in India. And at that time, English was regarded as the medium of instruction and administration, and knowledge of English in government service was preferred. The next important event is Charter Act of 1813. In the Charter Act of 1813, a sum of not less than rupees 1 lakh per year was allocated for education. That is, government have started initiative to patronize education in India. And for what purpose this allocated sum will be used? There was categorically 3 spheres. First one is revival and improvement of literature. The second one is encouraging learned native Indians. The third one is promotion of knowledge of science. Now, this Charter Act of 1813 gave rise to a controversy, which we call Anglicist classicist or Oriental Occidental controversy. Now, what was the controversy? The controversy was whether literature means the literature of the Western literature or the Indian literature, whether learned native Indians means the Indians who are educated in Indian system of education or Western system of education. And the knowledge of science means whether it is Indian science or Western science. And as a result of this, the sum allocated was not utilized up to 1833, and at that time Lord Bentinck appointed a person known as Macaulay to solve the problem. Macaulay in 1835 submitted his famous minute, and he supported Western system of education. According to this minute, literature means Western literature, learned native Indian means who are educated in Western education system, and science means Western science. Actually, Macaulay's minute was colonial in nature. He desired to have a class of person Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, in opinion, in morals, and in intellect. Now we look into Bentinck's declaration and subsequent development. Bentinck declared his policy in favor of Macaulay's minute. That is, he favored spread of Western education in India. And at that time, it was the beginning of use of English as an official language in government works and high courts. And another important decision was made in 1844 that for a government job, the knowledge of English has become a must. And in 1853, Indian Civil Service or ICS was introduced, as it was also a government job, so the candidates should have a good command on English. Similar was the case of Medical College in Madras. It was the first medical college in India, and it was established in 1851, and to get admitted at that college, the candidates must have the knowledge of English. Now we'll look into the Wood Despas. Wood Despas was submitted in 1854. It is regarded as the Magna Carta of Indian education. It expanded Western education in true sense. Numbers of schools and colleges increased, and a predominant position was given to English. And the most important one is that it paved for establishment of universities in Bombay, Kolkata, and Madras. Now we look into the different developments in the period from 1882 to 1947. The first one is Hunter Commission. All of you have perhaps heard the name of Hunter Commission. It was the first education commission of India, and this commission have also advocated the expansion of English education system in India. And next, Royal Military College was established in 1922. As it was a government institution, the candidates should have a good command on English to get admission. Similar was the case of Royal Indian Navy, which was established in 1926. And at last, the Wood-Abbott report that came in 1937 advocated for retention of English medium schools. And after 10 years of Wood-Abbott report, we got independence, and we are still retaining English as our second language. Now, to sum up, we will look into the chronology of events behind the development of English language teaching in India. The first one is 1600 AD, that is formation of British East India Company. And the second one is 1614, that is arrival of missionaries. Next comes 1757, the Battle of Plassey. Next 1765, government intervention. Then 1813, Charter Act. 1835, Macaulay's Minute. 1839, Bentinck's Resolution. 1854, Wood Despas. 1882, Hunter Commission. 1937, Wood-Abbott Report, and 1947, Independence of India. That's all for today. Thank you.